All right, thank you, Kimmy. Well, new rules for mid-size employers when it comes to the Affordable Care Act. Companies with 50 to 99 workers will now be given a 2-year extension before they must provide health care for their full-time employees. They now have until 2016 before risking a federal penalty for not complying. Congressional Republicans have jumped on the delays as justification for scrapping Obamacare and also questioned the president's authority to change a law that Congress has voted on. It's still unclear exactly how the companies that don't comply will be fined. Well, so many questions to ask our insurance expert, Craig Gusson. He's here this morning. We've got some of your emails here, and we'll ask him those questions in a second. But first, let's just deal with what we just heard right there.
It's just, when I heard that, it's like amazing. It's like, wait a minute, we pass a law, and then all of a sudden the president says, we're going to change it because of whatever reason he wants to. Is it legal? I don't think so. From everything I've heard and read, I don't think it's legal to do it, but let's assume it's going to happen. And
it's made something like 20-plus changes in this law so far by himself, unilaterally, and the president is supposed to enforce laws. He doesn't really have the legal authority to make laws.
That is my understanding, too. And the bigger issue is you had companies spending millions and billions of dollars to get ready for this, and then at the last minute they go, oh, by the way, we're going to delay it 2 years. Well, think of the expense the companies, not even the insurance companies, just the business owners in the United States have spent to get ready for this, to now find out we're supposed to be put off for 2 years, and the financial money the government expected to bring in to help pay for health care reform is not going to be there.
Well, that's, we've got a mandatory meeting here at our company today for all employees to discuss the health care plan and so forth. And we have no idea, what that meeting will entail. We know it's mandatory. We know we have to be there. Now, the Obama administration is touting that they've signed up, 3 million people, and that puts them ahead for this particular month. Who are those people? Are they good sign-ups?
Well, here's the problem you run into. It said 3.3 million people have been signed up to today, through January. And my question is, how many of those people had health insurance in December? I'm guessing 2.5, 2.8.
Already had insurance, so these are not new sign-ups.
No, it's such a misnomer, and no one's asking the question. Give me the question of how many people actually are new and how many people actually haven't signed up in 2014 because they're going, I can't afford the new rates. So at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to see any more people signed up now that had insurance in 2013.
Okay, let's get to some of people's emails here. From Paula in Escondido, I have had Blue Cross insurance for years and going to lose my plan the end of March. I don't want to make a mistake picking a new plan. What should I consider before picking a new plan?
The first thing you want to consider is, what's your income? Do you qualify for a subsidy? If you're single making $45,000 a year, you're going to qualify for a subsidy. If you're a family of 4 making $95,000 a year, you're going to qualify for a subsidy. If you're not, then you can go outside of covered California and you're going to be able to add Cigna, which doesn't participate in covered California, as another option. The second question is, who is your doctor? Is your doctor a Scripps doctor, a Sharp doctor? Because that's going to determine which insurance company you're going to go with. Blue Cross only uses some Sharp doctors and UCSD doctors.
So if you want to stay with your doctor, you need to basically reverse engineer.
Yes.
You start with a doctor, you work backwards into the plan that includes your doctor and then the services that you want and so forth, and you build it backwards, starting with the doctor work. Okay.
But you can't assume that if you're your doctor that Scripps, that Blue Shield automatically has them in the network, and if you're outside of covered California, you're going to probably also want to consider Cigna because I find out sometimes have a little bit bigger list.
Let me see if I can get to one more quickly. This is Johnny in San Carlos. I need to buy health insurance so I don't pay the penalty. When do I need to send my application in to avoid the penalty and have my health insurance effective by April the 1st?
So if you want it April 1st, you need to have it in by March 15th. If you send it in by Saturday, February 15th, you're going to have a March 1 effective date. You have to send it in by March 31st to be able to get health insurance and not pay the fine, and that would give you a May 1 effective date.
Okay. Anything else that you want to update us on here? I know you're going to Washington, D.C. You're going to be talking to lawmakers, again, on behalf of the insurance industry. So would you like folks to send us Facebook questions?
Definitely send questions. We're going to use those questions, and we're going to reach out to the legislators and say, here's what the people in San Diego County want to know, your constituents want to know. And that's it. And I think the big thing is, There's still time to buy health insurance. Right now, applications are getting in quicker, but the big concern we have is we're seeing 10 to 15% of the people still having issues getting their insurance approved. And when you do send in your application, make sure you send in a copy of your driver's license and your federal tax return, because those are the biggest delays we're having. So give us some questions, because we want to know what the consumer is thinking.
And how about that? And and we'll try to answer back here on the air when Craig gets back from Washington with your name attached to that question, if we possibly can. Craig, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Good to see you. Will we see you again before the trip?
Maybe, probably not. Probably in 2 weeks.
Okay, see you then.
Okay.